Okay, so we'll start the session now, and today we'll be discussing our next experiment, and this is the experiment on Zener diode. Okay, and we'll be using the Zener diode as a voltage regulator. So the aim of this experiment is to study the Zener diode as a voltage regulator. So let me just share it with you. Okay, so is the slide visible to all? Yeah, so let us start. This is actually your experiment number 11. So if you recall, in the last session we had discussed experiment number 10, right? Experiment 10, which was study of logic gates, and we had seen that while studying these logic gates, there were some of them which were known as universal gates, right? And logic gates were not and or XOR nor NAND, right? Out of which NAND and NOR were actually the universal gates, and we had seen by with the help of the truth table of all these individual gates how to have, or you can use these universal gates in order to develop the logic of the basic logic gates, right? So that we had done using I told you various methods you can do. One of the methods was using that online simulator, the circuit was website which I had told you. Other than that, we could also do it using Logisim software, but also the link I had shown you. So I believe that is clear to all. So today I'll be doing experiment number 11. So this is an analog based experiment. Analog, when I say, that means a Zener diode, right? It's used as a voltage regulator. So this is the aim of this experiment number 11. Now to understand its working as a voltage regulator, we should know what is a Zener diode, right? Some basics about the Zener diode. Fine. So how is it represented basically? The Zener diode from the normal PN junction diode, the symbol is a bit varying. So this is for a normal PN junction diode. This is representing the anode. This is the cathode, right? And for a Zener, the representation is a bit different in terms of the cathode symbol. The cathode is having this Z sign. You can say it is having a extension on either sides, forming a Z shape. So this is basically for a representation for a Zener diode. Right? Now, what is this speciality of Zener diode? Anyone would want to share it? Online students, everyone, anyone can answer. Like, what is different in a Zener diode when compared to a normal PN junction diode? Because both of them are PN junction only, but there is some difference here, because of which the properties of this diode will be different, as a result of which the applications are also varying. Normal PN junction diode, how is it? This is how it is represented, right? It is a PN junction. And where is it generally used? For rectification purpose. We had seen in our experiment number 7 when we studied the PN junction diode. Here we are having another PN junction, but there is some difference here, and it is not used for rectification, but it is instead used in a reverse breakdown region. Okay, so what is different here? So Zener diode, it is actually it falls in the category of special diodes. Okay, special diodes, it has the properties of high doping level. There's high doping level in the PNN channels here, which are joined together. As a result of this high doping, the width of depletion region is very less. Is very less, or we can say narrow. Right? Width is narrow, and as a result, it has or it offers lower barrier potential. Lower barrier potential. Now, because of this specific features differing from that of a normal PN junction diode, what will happen at a lower depletion, you can say thinner depletion region here, or narrower depletion region and lower barrier potential, this device actually conducts in the reverse bias condition. So here the operation is lower, it has or it offers a lower reverse breakdown voltage, right? And as a result of which, what happens? It operates in the reverse bias condition. So let me just add some graphs for this. Just hold on a second.
Sir, you're not audible.
Yeah, 1 second. Actually, I'm adding some figures. Okay, 1 second. Just hold on. So some graph and circuit diagram I would like to use so that this is clear. Okay, so I had told you that these are special diodes, and due to the high level of doping, the width of depletion region is less, and they have lower barrier potentials and lower reverse breakdown voltage, and operates in a reverse bias condition. So in many applications, the operation in reverse breakdown region is desirable, and this is relatively insensitive to the current flowing through the diode, that is the reverse current, this reverse breakdown voltage, that is the advantage here. So if you see the characteristics here, so to plot the characteristics of a PN junction diode, what did we do? We connected a load resistance in series to the diode and applied a source, maybe a DC source. In that particular case, what will you get after the cut in voltage across the PN junction? the device will start conducting. So here also in the forward bias condition, this is the forward bias condition, and this is the graph here. You can see the diode current versus the voltage anode to cathode. Okay, this is in the positive direction here. Positive direction. So in the first quadrant, this behavior is similar to that of a normal forward biased PN junction diode. So it behaves similar to that of a forward biased PN junction diode. But in the reverse bias condition, it has a lower breakdown voltage. So for a normal PN junction diode, it would break down. If we keep on increasing the reverse voltage, it may break down somewhere here, like this. But and it is still more far when you compare it with the Zener. So for a Zener diode, this reverse voltage is low, at which this this junction actually breaks down. So, and also another important property which I mentioned and underlined here, that the reverse breakdown voltage, this Vz, right, is the reverse breakdown voltage. So this voltage is independent, or generally we call it insensitive to the current flowing through the diode. That means it is remaining more or less a constant. So these diodes, Zener diodes, are designed to operate in the reverse breakdown region, and the circuits containing them provide voltage regulation or voltage referencing. Why does that happen? Because once the device is in the breakdown region, once the reverse voltage across this has crossed the Zener voltage, that means if the voltage is somewhere in this area, okay, the device will be in the reverse breakdown region, and this voltage across the device will be more or less a constant equal to this Vz voltage. So wherever it is connected, across that, the voltage across the device will remain almost a constant in the reverse bias condition. Okay? So this you can see here. To explore the characteristics of operation in the breakdown region, you can see here we have applied here, let's say, plus and minus. That means this plus is connected here to the resistance and minus is connected here. This is in the reverse bias condition. So here Vz is the reverse breakdown voltage, Vz, and the forward bias condition we can see Vg is the cut-in voltage, after which the device will turn on. So there will be a small voltage drop in the forward bias condition, similar to that of a normal PN junction diode. So to provide constant, our understanding is to have a Zener diode in terms of a voltage regulator. The symbol I have already shown you, and this is how we represent it: a Vz with a resistance value Rz. Now what is this resistance value Rz? Vz and current flowing through that is Iz, but the current you can see here, it is in the opposite direction. So this is anode and this is the cathode. The current of Zener is opposite direction, Iz. That means it is conducting in the reverse bias condition after the breakdown has taken place. So this is the model of representation of a Zener diode. A voltage drop across it. What will be the voltage drop? Equal to this Vz. And for an ideal case, you will get a graph like this. For an ideal Zener diode, it will be just straight line, which is, you can say, parallel to the y-axis here, like this. This would be for ideal Zener diode. But for a practical Zener diode, the graph will be having some slope here. Okay, there will be a slope with respect to this line, Vz line. And what would be that slope? That slope will be equal to 1 divided by Rz. The slope is 1 divided by R4. Why? Because this is your graph between current versus voltage. Current versus voltage. That means I is a function of V here. And if I say I divided by V, that is nothing but the inverse of the resistance. If we talk about the current versus voltage, I divided by V is the inverse of resistance. That is why this slope here, y by x, because x-axis, this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, this is the y divided by x, the slope of this line has to represent the inverse of resistance 1 by R. That is why this is 1 by Rz, the slope here. And that Rz is actually the resistance which this device offers in a practical case. So this is for a practical Zener log. I'm sure you would have studied this in your electrical workshop, experiment number 4. If you recall, you've studied various, the demonstration is there for various electronic components, right? Electronic devices in your lab, out of which one of the device, or you can say one of the component, is a Zener diode. Other than Zener diode, you might have studied photodiode, right? LEDs, transistors, BJT, how do you test them and all those things. So in that, a part of that is a Zener diode, and you would have been told by the person taking that lab that Zener diode is generally used in voltage regulation, right? So how is it used in a voltage regulation circuit here? Let us see. This is the right hand side. You can see this is a small circuit. Input voltage is provided and a resistance is there, and the diode, you can see this is a PN Zener diode connected in. This is cathode and this is the anode. So whenever this positive and negative is there, that means this is in the reverse bias condition. It will take some amount of current because it is in the reverse breakdown condition now, and then across that the voltage will remain constant, almost constant, Vz. That is why whatever the load, this is the load across which, let's say we want a constant voltage. That means whatever the voltage across this is equal to Vz if my Zener diode is in the reverse breakdown condition. If it is not in the reverse breakdown condition, that means if it is lying somewhere here in this range between these two areas, then that means during that the current is zero. In that case, the current will be zero. Current is zero here, that means this is an open circuit, and the total output voltage will be nothing but, in that case, RL divided by RL plus R multiplied by the input voltage VN. Means this is just a voltage divider circuit then, because there is no current flowing through this. This is an open circuit here. The current flows rather through R and RL, both are in series, and that current will be V divided by R plus RL, and the voltage across this will be current, this evaluated current multiplied by RL. So that will be the voltage V0 in that case, if the Zener diode is in the off region or just before the breakdown region. But just after the breakdown region, what happens? The voltage across this device becomes equal to Vz. I hope this is clear to everyone. Yeah. So this point here in this characteristics, what we have mentioned here, so this point is actually known as the point. If I want to take it further and draw it, just zoom it and draw, then what will we get here? In the reverse bias condition only I am going to draw. So your characteristics are color here. Like this. So this will be the current ID versus VAK, anode to cathode voltage. In the reverse bias condition, this is how the characteristics is. And in the positive half, we know it will be similar to that of your PN junction diode, like this. So here, this region basically is the forward bias condition. This is the reverse bias condition here, reverse bias. And still between this point, if we talk, before the voltage, before the current starts to rise after a Zener breakdown, this voltage is the Zener voltage Vz. Vz. And this point after which this Zener breakdown is taking place is actually called the knee point. This point is known as the knee point. And the current at this is the knee point voltage. This is the knee point, then the voltage at this point would be equal to the knee point voltage. And the current at this will be on this axis, I. This will be the knee point current. So let me call this as IZK, this voltage as VZK. This is VZ knee voltage of the zener. Now if your operating point is somewhere here, and this is the maximum current which the zener is rated for. This is IZ maximum, and if your current here, or this is your operating point IZ, then correspondingly to that we will have a operating point VZ. This is VZK, IZK. This is IZM, and correspondingly to that we will have VZM. So for any device, we know that the power rating is important because it will tell you that how much is the power which can be basically handled by that device. So if I'm talking about the maximum power capability of your Zener diode, so let me call that as PZ maximum, power of the Zener, which is at its peak value, that is equal to VZ maximum multiplied by IZ maximum. That means if in this characteristics, if you're selecting a Zener for any application and you're saying that, okay, I'm using it as a voltage regulator, it will be operating in the reverse bias condition. But we don't know in the reverse bias condition till what value the current can be handled by the device. Because you can see this is a continuous graph. In the reverse bias condition, it is increasing like this. So where has to be the limit? That means this IZ point, or this operating point, the general operating point, or the test point, let's say, has a minimum and maximum value. What is this? I can say IZ belongs to a range. What is this range? The minimum and maximum value. So it belongs to the knee voltage current, and the maximum value is IZ. And how do you find out this maximum value? Maximum value is found out by the maximum power dissipation capability of this. So this basically it's a value which is available in the data sheet, of your device. So for any Zener diode, if you take, you'll get the data sheet. From there you can take this power consumed by the Zener diode, the maximum power, or consumed means power handled by this, that is equal to Vz multiplied by Iz. So from there you can get what is the peak value of current which can flow through it in the reverse breakdown condition. That is nothing but Vz maximum divided by Vz. Now this Vz maximum, when I have written here, it is since I have just made it as a variation, right, with a slope, a higher slope, but practically it is not this much slope. So generally VZM is very close to VZ. So I can, instead of this VZM, I can write down VZ, and power can be found. Power, maximum power capability, dissipation capability of the device from the data sheet. To divide that by VZ, you will get what is the peak value of this Zener diode. Just a second, okay? Just hold on a second, everyone. Okay, students, just wait for 2-3 minutes. I'll be back. Okay, just stay in the meeting here. Okay, so am I audible to all students now?
Yes, sir.
So we were discussing about this, the operating point of the Zener diode, right? So the current IZ has to lie between its minimum and maximum values. Minimum is the IZK, that is the knee point current, and the maximum is IZM. And IZM is actually found out from the data sheet, the value of the maximum power dissipation of this device capability. So from there, PZM divided by VZ, which is more or less fixed, you get what is the value of IZM, the peak value, right? So this is found out from the data sheet, and IZK, definitely we know that this point when in the characteristics is the point at which your device starts conducting. Just before that, basically it is again in the reverse bias condition, but only a leakage current form flows through that. Leakage current flows through the circuit during this time. Fine, so I can conclude from this that this characteristics that IZ, the current flowing through the Zener diode in the reverse breakdown condition, cannot flow to a very high value. It has to be limited and it should lie between IZK and IZN. Fine. So that is something which we understand from the reverse breakdown condition. Now let us go to the next page and discuss the operation or use of Zener diode as a voltage regulator. A voltage regulator. Okay, so what will be a simplest voltage regulator, or what is the meaning of the term here voltage regulator? So it is a circuit here which maintains the output voltage to a specific value, to a specific value, even if other operating parameters vary, even if the other operating parameters are varying. So Zener diode as a voltage regulator means that the Zener diode, if it is connected to a circuit, it is working in such a way that it is maintaining the voltage across this, or the Zener wherever it is connected, across that element to a specific voltage value, even if there is some changes in the operating parameter. Now, what are the operating parameters which can change here? The options are, or we can say the possibilities here are, either the input itself changes or the load is actually changing. So even if there is some changes in the load side or in the source side, the output of, or you can say that Zener diode will try to maintain this voltage constant, or a specific voltage near to about a specific voltage, right? Particular voltage for which it is rated. So that phenomena is known as actually voltage regulation. Okay, maintaining of voltage or regulating of voltage, right? Regulation of something, whenever we say in a normal language, regulation, what are the regulations of your curriculum or your engineering course? Regulation means some rules or set of rules which are to be followed. Similarly here, regulation means we are regulating and mainly controlling, let's say, that device actually controls and maintains voltage across the load. So what can be a simplest Zener voltage regulator circuit? So let's say the one which we have discussed, I'll draw it again here. So if I'm having a source, let's say this is a resistance RS, and I'm having a Zener diode. So this is Vs, this is RS, load resistance here. This is the load, this is the resistance which we have, the load resistance RL. And we want to maintain the voltage across this load V naught as a constant. What do we do generally? To use Zener diode as a voltage regulator, we will connect whatever the voltage point, that means whatever the device across which we want to have a constant voltage, we'll connect a Zener across it, but we have to make sure that the Zener, whenever connected across this load, should be always in the reverse bias condition. Right? That means I have to connect a Zener in which way, such that my cathode is connected to the positive and anode is connected to the negative terminal. If I connect your Zener diode like this, then this circuit would be a simplest voltage regulator circuit. Simplest voltage regulator circuit here. Fine. Now, how will this device work as a voltage regulation, a voltage regulator? Now, because of this connection here, there will be some current which is flowing through the device now. Let me call this current as the source current IS, and the zener, whenever we have seen the characteristics here in the reverse bias condition, because now it is in the reverse bias, positive is coming here, negative is coming here. That means it's in the reverse bias condition, plus and minus. The characteristics is somewhere like this, exactly, but like this. So this should be the point here, Vz. The current correspondingly to that is Iz. This is the knee current or Izk. This is the knee current. Now what happens at the boundary condition? So whenever this current flowing through the zener, let me call this as Iz, this current Iz, and the total of the sum of these two currents will be equal to your load current IL. In that particular case, output voltage will be equal to IL multiplied by RL. IL multiplied by RL, right? Output voltage. And what is the voltage across zener in that particular case? If also at this junction, if you write down KCL, what will be KCL? KCL at the node plus IS is equal to IZ plus IL. IZ plus IL. Now, if your IZ here is between this IZK, anywhere between this peak value, this is IZ max. If your IZ is somewhere here, anywhere in this line, this particular graph, between this darkened path, okay, in that particular case, we can say that your device is actually in the reverse breakdown condition, in a breakdown we call it. And what will happen in that case? The voltage across this device will be equal to your zener diode voltage, that is Vz, this voltage. That means the current flowing through the device we need to maintain between these 2 points. This Iz needs to you can say contain between Izk and Iz max. If that is the case, then this device voltage across that will be Vz, and that will come across your, that particular case, this will be V0 is equal to Vz. So by controlling the current flowing through this, and how do you control the current flowing through this? By making sure that Is and IL are such that Iz is belonging to this region, or it is falling in this region, not belonging, falling to this particular region. So let's find out what are the possibilities in which this would change. Okay, we know how to regulate it. How does it work as a regulator? Let's take an example. If we are having Vs here, and this voltage is making this device in the reverse bias condition because of the polarity, and the voltage is higher such that the current flowing through this Is is equal to Iz plus IL, where Iz belongs to Izk to Izm, that means in between this somewhere here, then that means the voltage across the zener will be equal to Vz, and this same voltage is applied across your resistance, load resistance RL, so output voltage will also remain constant and become equal to Vz. So essentially from this equation we can understand that Iz is equal to Is minus IL, and if we control this with the help of these two, we can maintain the device in the reverse bias condition and in this particular region, such that always the device voltage will be equal to Vz and output voltage will remain constant. Now what are the possibilities that this condition may change? right? This condition may change. What are the possibilities? One of the possibilities is that the source itself is actually changing, right? So I can say that the input is variable and the load is fixed. This load is fixed here. So I'll say here that when the input is fixed but load is, sorry, input is variable, input is variable, but load is fixed. That means RL is constant and the input is variable means Vs is variable. Fine. So in that particular case, what will happen? This Vs is now variable. We know that this Zener diode will always be forward reverse bias in breakdown region if this Vs is more, right? If it is more, that means if it is crossing this value, because Vs is the reason why this voltage will become, or this device will become reverse bias and in the breakdown region. So if we have increased the value of Vs, we definitely know that this will be in the reverse bias condition in the breakdown region. But there is a chance that at a lower voltage of Vs, this device may actually come out of your, or if this voltage Vs is less than this Vz knee voltage value, then device may again fall back into the reverse blocking mode and the current flowing through the device will be equal to the reverse leakage current. Then it will not be having that, it will be similar to that of an open circuit. So we know that there is some minimum value of source voltage which is required to keep this in this specific Zener diode operating mode. Whenever we try to control this Zener diode or this regulator, because of the changes which are taking place at the input side, we call this property as line regulation. Line regulation of your regulator. That means even if Vs is varying, right, you can say IL. What is IL here? IL is basically equal to V naught divided by RL. Now RL is fixed, right? So whenever it is working as a breakdown region in the regulator mode, this output voltage will be equal to Vz in this region, in this specific region. Output voltage is equal to Vz divided by RL. Now these both are fixed, that means IL is fixed. That is the meaning of the load is fixed. RL is fixed, so IL will be fixed here. In that particular case, Vs has to fall, or has to, you can say, be contained within a particular range, and that is a minimum value of Vs and maximum value of Vx. That means the source voltage will have a limitation. Even if it is variable, this input is variable we said, but still it will have some limits at the minimum and maximum value within which this source voltage has to stay. Otherwise this regulation will not take place, the voltage regulation will not take place. That means if this voltage, source voltage, is less than the Vs minimum value, the device will not be working as a regulator. So since we have written this equation here, Is is equal to Iz plus IL, right? So if my source current is 5 amperes and this is 1 ampere, so this will become 4 amperes, right? And if my source current is 3 amperes and this is equal to 2 amperes and this is equal to 1 ampere. That means if my load is fixed here, it is always requiring 1 ampere, right, load current. Then if my source is changing, why will the source current change? What is IS basically? If I say that the voltage at this point is VZ, then IS is equal to Vs. What is IS? IS is equal to Vs minus Vz divided by Rs. And Rs is fixed. We are not changing Rs. This is fixed. The only thing which is changing here is Vs. If Vs is changing, Is will change. As a result of which, this will change from 5 to, let us say, this becomes 3, right? And the load still requires 1 ampere. Then the Zener diode will operate itself in such a way that its point shifts from 4 ampere to 2 ampere. So let's say its point, this was 4 ampere. So from there it shifts to 2 ampere. This 4 ampere to 2 ampere. But still this is within the range of this reverse breakdown region of the Zener diode between IZK and IZ maximum. Then still this will work as a voltage regulator. If this variation is very high, that means if Vs changes such that Is is also suddenly fluctuating, then this will not be able to sustain that particular variation. Zener diode will come out of its Zener breakdown region and become an open circuit that particular case, and regulation will be lost. Fine, so we need to determine that there should be a minimum value of Vs at which this happens. What is that value of Vs? The minimum Vs value. So to determining Vs minimum, for finding out what is Vs minimum, we know that Is is equal to Iz plus IL, isn't it? So I can say that IL is fixed here, this is not changing. Then Is minimum, if I need to find out, because Vs minimum will happen when Is minimum will happen when there is input voltage which is minimum. Vs is variable at its minimum value we are finding out. So Is minimum at that condition should be equal to Zener diode should also be minimum here because this is fixed. As I just said, 5, 4, 1, right? That example. 1 is fixed here. So if 5 is reduced to 3, 4 has to reduce to 2. Until what range it can go? Only till the range when Iz becomes Iz minimum. That is the minimum value of Zener diode current, right? So Iz minimum तक ही हम जा सकते हैं. We cannot go further beyond or below that. Otherwise, Zener diode will be off in this region, out of breakdown region. So we can say Is minimum is equal to Iz minimum plus IL, which is fixed here. And in that particular case, what is Is minimum? Is minimum is equal to, still we assume that this is in the regulation mode. If it is in the regulation mode, then output voltage here is Vz, isn't it? So Vs minus Is into R is equal to Vz. So I can say Is minimum is equal to Vs minimum minus Vz divided by Rs. Right? So if I substitute the value of Is minimum here, and what will be the value of Is minimum here at this boundary condition? What will happen? The boundary condition, this Izk value or Iz minimum value, right? This can be understood to be negligible. That means this Izk, this point, even though we have shifted and showed it below the x-axis significantly, but this is a very you can say negligible current, right? So Izk, I should say at the boundary condition, this is the boundary condition before and after which there is breakdown taking place and the device is having a constant voltage. So just before that or at the boundary, just before this breakdown happens, Izk value, I can say that this is almost 0 or negligible. So Iz minimum in that particular case is equal to 0. Iz minimum is equal to 0. So in that particular case, IS minimum is equal to IL. This will IS minimum will become equal to IL itself. So in that particular case, what will happen if IZ minimum is becoming 0? So what will be your circuit becoming here? This particular case, this is your voltage source plus minus. This is your resistance Rs, and this was your Zener diode through which the final value of current which is flowing is 0 now. Here the current IZ minimum has become 0, and this is your load. This is Rs and this is Vs. This is RA. So in that particular case, since this Zener diode current is becoming 0, what will be the total current flowing through the circuit here? The current IS will be equal to the current IL. Capital or small letter you can write on. IS will be equal to IL. And what will be that value? That value of current, this will be equal to IS minimum, which is equal to IL. And this value will be equal to Vs divided by Rs plus RL. Isn't it? This will be the minimum value. What is the Vs value at that time? Vs minimum. When Vs as its minimum, this is what is happening, Is minimum. And in that case, what will be the output voltage? Output voltage across this output voltage V naught, right? This will be equal to this current Is minimum multiplied by the resistance, load resistance value, that is RL. But we want this voltage, output voltage at the boundary condition also. That means just after which regulation is lost. So at boundary condition also we want to find out what is the maximum extent, right? Minimum value of Vs. So that means still we assume that regulation is taking place at that boundary condition. So we equate this output voltage to equal to Vz to find out this boundary condition or this minimum point. So if we equate this output voltage still to be equal to Vz, so if I substitute here Vz is equal to Is minimum is nothing but Vs minimum divided by Rs plus RL multiplied by RL. So from here we can find out what is the minimum value of voltage, input voltage. Vs minimum is Rs plus RL divided by RL to Vz. Vz into Rs plus RL divided by RL. Is this clear? The minimum value of voltage which should be there for a specific load resistance RL having a source resistance Rs with a Zener diode of the Zener voltage Vz. This should be the minimum value of voltage which should be applied here. Below which, if this voltage falls, the device current will become 0. That means this will become an open circuit and output voltage will no longer be equal to Vz. It will vary from Vz to Vs into RL divided by Rs plus RL. Is this clear? Please confirm whether this is clear to all. This is for Vs minimum. Now we said that this has to have a maximum value of Vs also, right? Vs maximum. At Vs maximum, what will happen? We know Is is equal to Iz plus IL. Again, the load is fixed. Iz or Vs max, we know Is will also be at its peak value. So Is max, that is max, we can find out because IL is fixed. So if Vs increases, Is increases, correspondingly Iz value has to increase, but Iz is limited by a specific value. What is that value? We know that Is max is equal to Vs max minus Vz divided by Rs. So if Is max increases, Iz max also increases correspondingly, but there is a limit for maximum value of current we have seen for a Zener. What is that? That is from the data sheet, depending upon the power dissipation capability. So in that particular case, what is this Iz max? From the data sheet, I can say Pz max divided by Pz, isn't it? So I can say Is max is equal to Pz max divided by Vz plus IL. So this is Is max is equal to Pz max by Vz plus IL. And if I substitute this value and find out what is Vs max. So in this case, if I want to find out what is Vs max, I'm going to substitute the value of Is max here. So this equation becomes this equation Is max is Pz max divided by Vz plus IL should be equal to Vs max minus Vz divided by Rs. So from here I can find out what is the value of Vs max. Vs max is equal to Pz maximum value from the data sheet divided by the Zener voltage, right, plus IL, that is the load current, multiplied by Rs plus Vz. Okay, so this is the peak value, or we can say maximum value of source voltage, beyond which if your voltage goes, source voltage goes, then your device will fall out of breakdown condition. Or you can say that it will be the Zener diode current will be more than its rated value and device may actually fail and burn up. So what is the conditions you can say if Vs is belonging to Vs minimum to Vs maximum? Okay? If this is happening, then in that particular case, output voltage is equal to the Zener voltage. And if Vs is less than Vs minimum, what will happen? This implies that Zener is off or Iz is almost zero. The Zener diode is off. In that particular case, it's an open circuit, and for that condition, we already know if it's an open circuit, output voltage will be equal to Vs divided by Rs plus RL multiplied by RL. So it will no longer remain equal to Vz. And also, if Vs becomes more than Vs maximum, Vs maximum value we have already found out, right? Then that condition, what will happen? Is is increased more than its peak value, that will lead to Zener, because IL is fixed, right? So Zener will increase more than its maximum value, and the Zener will burn out. Carrying more current than its rated value, the Zener will actually burn out. So always remember that Zener diode has to remain, its operating point has to remain within this minimum value Izk and Iz max. Here we have considered the Iz minimum value to be negligible or 0 because it's very small. Between 0 and Iz maximum, if we keep this range and design a circuit, then we'll be able to get a proper regulation. So this is actually known as line regulation of the Zener diode voltage regulator. That means even if the voltage is within this range, Vs minimum to Vs max, your output voltage will still remain constant. In common terms, if I say that my input voltage is in the range of 15 volt to 20 volt, okay, still my output voltage of the Zener, or let's say it is in the range of 10 to 20 volts, still my output voltage may remain at 9 volts. Let's say this is 9 volt. and Vs is varying between these values. So this range of input variation is allowed by the Zener. That means इस range में अगर input vary होता है, still you are getting an output voltage which is fixed. This is known as line regulation. Okay. Now what happens in the other case? The other possibility is that your load itself might actually vary. So that is the second case. Second case here, if input is fixed and load is variable. Input is fixed and load is variable. In that particular case, what will happen? What will you do? The same circuit, but now load is variable here. So let me draw this plus and minus. This is my source. This is RS. And this is the Zener diode. This is the load, RL. But here the load is now variable. The source current is IS. This is Vs. And the voltage of the Zener is Vz. Output is taken across this RL. So here you can see that your load itself is variable. RL is a variable quantity. Load is variable means RL is variable, and input is fixed means Vs is a fixed quantity. It is not varying. So whatever be the condition, this Zener diode current here, Iz, for regulation to take place, Iz should be falling between Iz minimum to Iz maximum in that graph which we had seen. And we know that in this equation also Is and this is equal to IL. Is is equal to Iz plus IL. Iz plus IL. Now in this particular case, IL will be how much? Basically IL is the current flowing through the load. Now IL is equal to output voltage divided by the load resistance. Now since the load resistance is variable, IL will become a variable quantity. So if IL is variable and your source current is fixed, right, then that means your Zener diode also has to become, the Zener current should also be variable in order to keep this source current same. That means let's say this is 5 ampere, okay, and your load initially it was 1 ampere. That means your Zener has to take 4 amperes. But if it is changed now, input is still equal to 5 amperes because input is fixed. Load instead of 1 ampere, it is now taking 3 amperes. In that particular case, the Zener has to take the remaining 2 amperes. So this range of fluctuation of this current should lie again within Iz minimum to Iz max. If that is the case, your device will still work as a voltage regulator and output voltage will be equal to Vz. I hope that is clear. So IL is V0 by RL, which is Vz divided by R. This is basically Vz divided by RL. Vz is fixed, RL is variable. That makes IL variable. And what is Is? Is is Vs minus Vz divided by Rs. Rs is fixed, Vz anyways is fixed, Vs also input voltage is also fixed, that means Is is fixed. So only thing which can vary with the load here is the Zener current. So this will happen only when this, what is the range? What is varying here? RL, right? So RL, what range of values can RL have? Or the load resistance can vary within which range? That will define whether your Zener is in the reverse breakdown condition or. So we need to find out that value of load resistance RL. So I can say that if my RL belongs to a minimum value to maximum value, if I am able to find out and regulate and keep my resistance output load resistance in this range, then whatever be that value in this range, this variation is in this particular range, then IL will be in a specific range. If IL be in a specific range, depending upon a constant current, Zener current will be always in a specific range. So indirectly, the Zener current is making changes depending upon the load current changes by keeping the input current constant. So if it is possible, if this thing is done and it is kept possible, then your device will be in the reverse breakdown region and output voltage will be Vz. Fine. So let us find out what is that minimum value of load resistance. So for the minimum value of this load resistance RL minimum, we need to find out what is the value. So we know that current through the load is equal to output voltage divided by RL. Now when RL is minimum, the current will be, the load current will be maximum because it is equal to V naught by Z. And V naught is nothing but equal to Vz because Vz is the boundary condition we want. That means it should be still giving us output voltage a fixed constant Zener voltage. So Vz divided by RL minimum. So that means IL max we can get from RL minimum value. And we already know IS is equal to IZ plus IL. Now if IL is at its maximum value and IS is fixed, IS is not changing, isn't it? So in that particular case, if this is at its peak value, IS is fixed, that means IS should be at its minimum value. Right? In that particular case, what will be the boundary condition? The boundary condition is when this IZ like this, right? So this IZ minimum at boundary condition will be equal to or negligible or almost equal to 0. We had seen that minimum value we are taking to be 0. That means this minimum value we are taking to be 0 here. That means at that condition IS becomes equal to 0 plus IL. So whenever this is becoming 0, what will be the output voltage? In this condition, output voltage will be equal to, since it is becoming open, again input voltage is Vs divided by Rs plus RL, because only IS and IL are same now. IZ is 0, so Rs and RL are in same series. So this current multiplied by RL, current multiplied by the resistance will be output voltage V naught, and at the boundary condition we still want this voltage to be equal to Vz, isn't it? But what is the value of RL here in this condition? RL is nothing but RL minimum. RL minimum here. So how to find out the value of RL minimum from this? If we just cross multiply, you'll get Vs divided by Vz. Vs divided by Vz is equal to Rs divided by RL minimum plus Rs plus RL minimum divided by plus 1. I've just taken cross multiplied this, right? This equation here like this, and Vs by Vz I've taken, this will be Rs by RL minimum plus 1, and if I take Rs by RL minimum on one side, this will be Vs minus Vz divided by Vz, and what will be RL minimum? RL minimum will be equal to Vz into Rs divided by Vs Vz into Rs divided by Vs minus Z. RL minimum will be from here Vz into Rs divided by Vs minus Vz. So this is the minimum value of load resistance which should be there in the circuit for the device to still be operating in the Zener diode voltage regulator mode. If it is less than this resistance value, this will not, current through Zener diode will be lesser than its minimum value, that is almost negligible value. This will not come out of breakdown region and output voltage will no longer be equal to Vz. Right, this is the minimum value. Now similarly, we have to find out what is the maximum value. So for finding out what is the maximum value, so for RL max, we know what is IL. IL is nothing but V0 divided by RL, but RL maximum value whenever we have, we'll have IL minimum value, isn't it? And this will be equal to V0 should be Vz at that time. This is RL maximum. Also we have seen Is is equal to IL plus I Zener, and Is is fixed. Since we have told the current is fixed here, from the input side voltage is not changing. So IL has now become equal to IL minimum. That means Iz has to become its peak value. Why does Iz has to reach to its peak value? Because this has changed, this also have to change to keep Is constant. But we have already seen how do we find out what is the value of the peak value of Iz max? Iz max, so this can be written as Iz max, we have seen this Pz max, maximum value of power, divided by Vz. Okay. Plus IL minimum. But what is the value of IL minimum? IL minimum is equal to V0 divided by RL max. So if I substitute these things here, Is equal to, what is IL minimum? V0 divided by RL max plus, that is this value, I put here IL minimum, plus Iz max is equal to Pz max divided by Z. And what is V0? V0 is nothing but equal to Vz. We just rub this and write down as Vz, because output voltage still we want as Vz. So Vz divided by RL max plus Pz max divided by Iz should be equal to your Is, right? And Is is how much? You know, Is should be input voltage minus voltage at the Zener point is Vz, V0, Vs minus Vz divided by Rs. So from here, we substitute the values, we'll get what is the value of RL maximum. So RL maximum, if we substitute from here, we'll get RL max is equal to, because this is the left hand side and this is the right hand side. तो अगर हमको इसको फाइंड आउट करना है, Vz डिवाइड बाय RL max is equal to Vs minus Vz divided by Rs, okay, this is the left hand side, minus Pz max divided by Vz. So this minus this will be Vz divided by RL max. And if we want to find out what is RL max, just take RL max to the other side and remaining portion to the other side. So Vz divided by Vs minus Vz divided by Rs minus Pz maximum divided by Vz. Okay. So this will be your value of RL maximum, maximum value of the load resistance within which this should happen. They should stay for regulation to take place. So I can conclude from this that if the load resistance belongs to RL minimum to RL maximum, right, then I can say that output voltage will remain constant at the Zener voltage. If RL is actually lower than RL minimum, that case what will happen? RL is lower than RL minimum. We have seen that IZ will fall less than 0. That means it will become open. In that case, output voltage will be equal to how much? Vs divided by Rs plus RL multiplied by RL. And if RL becomes more than RL max, what will happen? You have seen this value. More than that will make Zener current to be more than the maximum value, and similarly to the previous case, Zener will burn out. Zener will burn out. Okay, so what did we understand from this? That in the load side also, if there is changes, variation in the load, still the output voltage can be maintained constant by the Zener only if the load resistance is in this particular range, RL minimum to RL max. So this type of regulation is actually known as load regulation. Okay? Load regulation. So we have seen in this experiment that all the method, we have derived everything from the basic equations. So I hope this is clear to everyone how this device works as a voltage regulator and what are the minimum and maximum points for this Zener diode current and operating points, and what should be the other circuit elements also, what are the limits, right? What is the regulation value, how to find out what is the load regulation value and the line regulation value, what are these terms and how we can design the circuit here. So for a given system, we should be able to design a Zener diode based voltage regulator based on this particular equations. Fine. So now I'll show you the manual, and there is some theory given in that manual also. Second. Is the manual visible to everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yeah. So this is the manual, and actually the system word is not there presently, so that is why I'm using this LibreOffice. So you may not be able to see it properly as in word format. Okay, so some theory is given and line regulation and load regulations are also discussed, which we just not have derived also. And we can do this Zener diode line regulation and load regulation in a virtual lab platform. Okay, so to do that, there is a link given on the top itself to study the Zener diode as a voltage regulator. We click on this. Do this and open it. So I've just pasted that link. You also can use that link and do it separately. So I'm trying to open it. 1 second. The chat box, I will just write down that link. You also can do it parallelly or later also once. So this is the link. It is available in the manual also, so you will get that along with the manual also. It is taking some time to open. It is again a similar virtual lab based experiment. Okay, all of you can see this. Just check. Is it visible to all? Yeah. So just you can go to the theory later. It's similar to that what we have discussed. So you can go for Zener diode as a line regulation and Zener diode for load regulation and Zener diode characteristics. So if you go for characteristics, you can click on the Zener diode characteristics. It will open another virtual lab page. Yeah, so all of you can see this, right? So we are just having input voltage source and a resistor RS and Zener diode which is connected in a reverse bias condition. We are just measuring here the current and voltage here, current and voltage. Just go through the instructions once and you can see select the diode and set the rheostat to 1 ohm. By adjusting the rheostat, voltmeter is increased from 0 in each time. Note the reading in the millimeter. Take the readings of voltage and current through the Zener and plot the VI graph. So we can select the diode. Let's say we have selected 4733A and whatever here 5.1 is shown, that is the Zener voltage of that, and make this RH equal to 1 ohm, and correspondingly we need to add the values here. So add the values to the table by varying the resistance. This RH is a variable resistance here. So based upon this varying resistance, you will get output, or you can say the voltage across the device will be changed, and once it is greater than the Zener knee voltage, the device will actually turn on. So current is 0 now, and if we keep on increasing this value, at some point it will start conducting. So you can see I have taken so many points here. You can take more points to get a better graph. Okay, so we have taken all these values, and once you get this observation table, click on plot and you will be able to get a plot here. So basically this is current versus voltage, and this is plotted in the forward by, you can see here in the first quadrant, but what you have to do, you have to plot it in the fourth quadrant basically. So current and voltage in the fourth quadrant. So if you just take a, you can say, diagonal mirror image of this, what will you get? The actual curve. So here this curve, if I'm saying, if I just want to represent here, that what you're getting here is, instead of this curve, this is what you should get, but what is shown here is the current versus voltage here like this. So actual curve is like this, but the plot is between this and this they have done in the virtual lab. So whatever you are getting actually, basically here I versus V, we are getting something like this, right? So just take a mirror image of this and draw in your record just the opposite. And just take a mirror image based upon or with respect to the x and y axis. So just this quadrant will become this quadrant and you'll get a curve like this, something like this. Okay, because here whenever measurement is done, that measurement is done with respect to this current here and voltage here, that is why. But actually we know that the Zener current is in this direction and it's a reverse current of the device, right? So that is why it should be plotted on the negative current axis and negative voltage axis also. So just that you have to do, that is the difference, current and voltage for the reverse bias condition. I hope this is clear. Yeah, now that is for Zener characteristics. Next is line regulation. Line regulations, just now we have seen as a voltage regulator. How does it work? That means the input voltage can be varied within a specific range value. Still the output voltage will remain the same for a Zener diode voltage regulator. And in the load regulation case, it is just the opposite. The load is actually varied and input is fixed, but still the output voltage will remain the same. So basically it is what is this regulation means? It is the capability of this Zener diode as a voltage regulator to maintain the voltage even if there is some change in the parameters at the input side or the output side. Right? So you can see here, go to the instructions and set the Zener voltage to 5.1 volt. So let us set that Zener voltage to, if you vary this, you can see, okay, here I can set the value as from here itself I have to vary. If I am varying this, the Zener voltage, you can see here Zener voltage is changing here when I vary. Zener voltage should become 5.1 and series resistance to 1, load resistance to 2 kilo ohm. Series resistance you can vary to 1 kilo ohm, and load resistance to 2 kilo ohms. The load is here, load resistance to 2 kilo ohms. That means, so this is 2 kilo ohms, and vary the DC voltage from 0 to 20 volt. This DC voltage we can vary now from 0 to 20 volts. So if I'm making it 0 and slowly increasing one by one, basically what we are trying to do, we are actually changing the input voltage range. It's a line regulation, right? So we can see that at some range of values of input voltage, output voltage will become equal to the input voltage itself, the Zener diode voltage itself, which is 5.1 volt. Right? So we have to just vary it and see what is the line regulation. So that is done for, here we have taken load resistance to be 2 kilo ohms. You have to repeat this for RL is equal to 5 kilo ohms once you get this plot. So what you can do, you can change this and add to the table the values. What all are you measuring? You're measuring here source current, load current, Zener current, and the output voltage. So all this thing you can see, source voltage, load current, Zener current, output voltage, and voltage regulation is also calculated. So I'm taking bigger ranges. You can take fine or smaller points also in between so that you will get a better curve. So you can see here, after this value, the Zener voltage, the output voltage, you can see it is getting fixed to 5.1 volt. In a specific range itself is happening. Input voltage, a specific range after which this happens, below which the regulation is not taking place. Right? So that range tells us that the device is working in a regulated mode in this condition. Same thing you can, so this you need to plot first. You can see here output voltage with respect to Vs, because regulation is in terms of variation of input voltage you are varying and seeing after what value, around 4.8 volts, right? After 4.8 volts you can see the output voltage remains equal to the Zener voltage. So regulation is taking place here. So you need to plot this graph. Fine. So it takes more points. I've just shown you how the profile of this graph will be. So take more points, smaller points when you do this experiment on the virtual lab platform. Now once you get this plot, again similarly you can reset this clear and set the value of the load resistance to 5 kilo ohm. Set the value like this to 5 kilo ohm, and similarly this you can keep again at 1 kilo ohm. Zener diode 5.1 you can select, and DC voltage again you can vary from 0 to the final value and get all the points and plot it. Okay, so you'll get two graphs on the same plot. Just the opposite, you'll get two plots on the same graph paper. One is for RL is equal to 2 kilo ohm, the other one is for RL is equal to 5 kilo ohm. Right, that will tell us what is the working of this Zener diode as a voltage regulator in a line regulation mode. Similarly, go to the next one, which is here Zener diode load regulation. So click on this and you will be able to see. Let me just open here. Yeah, so these are the instructions here also. for a load regulation. So input is fixed here now. DC voltage is fixed to 6 volts. So it is still opening. Second. So there is some, the internet is slow. You may check it parallelly. Let us see what are the instructions. Instructions set the input voltage fixed to 6 volt and the series resistance is fixed to 100 ohms. And Zener voltage we are selecting as 5.1 volt and load resistance we need to vary. Okay, and voltmeter is placed across load and load resistor to find out voltage, load voltage, and ammeter is in series with that. You need to choose the load resistance in such a way that Zener diode is on. That means for a given value of, for a range of values of RL, we have seen RL minimum से RL max के बीच में, if there is value of this load resistance, the device will be in the breakdown region and it will work as a regulator. So we need to vary the load resistance from minimum to maximum value and check at what range this is providing as a regulation. Now same thing you can repeat once you get this. Repeat the experiment with Vz is equal to 10 volt, Rs is 100 and DC voltage as 12 volt. That means use another Zener voltage, another Zener diode at 10 volt and also do this experiment. So first part is enough for in this particular case. You will get a profile of output voltage with respect to the variation in load resistance. So let us keep this 6 volts, right? So the input we need to keep 6. You can see here it is varying. Yeah, 6 volts is the input and Rs is 100. Rs is equal to 100. Load Zener is 5.1. So Zener voltage I can keep at 5.1 and vary the load resistance. Now load resistance can be varied from minimum value. So now at minimum is 150. You can add that value to the table and keep on varying this value of load resistance and add the tables. You will get many points in between also. I'm just showing you the profile here, okay? So many readings. If we get, just plot it. You can see here for load resistance with respect to load resistance, right? So if we are varying the load resistance still, you can see here the input voltage is 6 here. Output is also coming out as 6, but after this, if the resistance is increased, it is in a specific range. From now onwards, the output voltage becomes equal to 5.1. That means from this range onwards, the Zener diode is working as a voltage regulator. Output voltage is equal to the Zener voltage 5.1 volts. So you'll get a graph like this and many points in between whenever you draw this. Is it clear to everyone? Is it clear to all? Just confirm once. Yeah, so the link I have already added in the chat box. You all can do it parallelly and once go through the manual also. This manual will be shared with you and it is already there on LMS. Okay, so please go to LMS and it is our 11th experiment, the Zener diode as a voltage regulator. Fine, so complete this record for the experiment number 11. Go to the lab manual. Procedure I have already told, and we have seen the load regulation as well as the line regulation as well as Zener characteristics. And for case 1, case 2, case 3 for line regulation, similarly all the 3 cases for load regulation, you need to plot the graph, and the Zener characteristics also you need to plot the graph between current versus voltage and write down the conclusion and answer the quiz questions. Right, so complete this. This is a bit bigger experiment. That is why I didn't club any other experiment with this. So complete this because the explanation required some time. Okay, that is why just now like we are about to complete this in 2 hours almost, 1 hour 50 minutes. So try to complete it within a week and submit it on the LMS portal. Already the submission link is active. Complete the submission and in the next week our experiment number this is experiment number 10, right? So check it. So sorry, this is not 10. This is experiment number 11 actually. Zener diode as voltage regulator. 10th we had done in the last session. NAND and NOR gates as well as logic gates discussion. 9th is still left, which is a binary to gray code converter. So that is a very small experiment. So that and the 12th experiment, 9th and 12th will be done in the next session itself. Okay, so binary to gray code converter experiment number 9 and experiment number 12, which is arithmetic expressions using adders, half adder and full adder. So those we'll try to complete in our next session. Fine. So complete your record for this experiment till experiment number 11th. 10th was already done. Other than 9th, from experiment number 1 to 11, I think everyone should submit all these on LMS by next week. In case anyone has not yet submitted, please check and submit it. I hope that is clear. Okay, fine. So, is there any doubt regarding this experiment or anything else which we had done before? Any other experiment which we had done before? Fine. Otherwise, we'll close the session and we'll meet in our next session on next Tuesday. Fine. Everyone has received the link for this session, right? Because last time you told that the link was not reaching you. This time, everyone has got the link.
Yes, sir.
Fine. So everything is clear to all. Okay. Fine. So you all can now leave the meeting and we'll meet